They're coming along trying to, be mentally tougher as well. So, I mean, it's a process, but I think we're already ahead of the curve.
And of course, that fast forward now through football season, basketball's now arrived. You've had a chance to be with them for a couple of weeks. You went through an inter squad scrimmage. You went through a scrimmage with Medora last Saturday at home. Talk to us a little bit about how your work with them in the summer has kind of carried over into the beginning of the season and what you've liked so far from this group.
Well, the carryover from the summer is we were able to put a few things in, so they weren't coming in. It's not like I've only had 2 weeks to work with them to put anything in. So we had that time in the summer a little bit on top of the 2 weeks we have now, which has helped. Still not enough time, obviously, but we've been pretty pleased with the production. The scrimmage against Medora, defensively, at times we looked really good until the fatigue set in. And then offensively, they were being aggressive, they were finishing, and that goes back to them being just stronger individuals.
Just talk to us a little bit. You talk about the physicality. We've talked about, what scoring potential has returned now. Like I said, 3 of the top 4 scorers from last year back on this team. But kind of take us through the personnel and what the varsity will kind of look like as far as who you have back.
We'll start 3 guards. We'll have Parker, Holden, and Caden Abels, and they're all 3 able to penetrate. They can all shoot. They all play good defense. And then we bring off 2 guards off the bench, and Mikey Nichols and Bobby Stevens, and they're both. It's not like we're really losing a step if we have to sub at the guard position, which is really nice to have. And then you move to the front line. We've got some bigger, stronger guys. We've got Jake Strange and Harrison Sanford, and then Chase Farmer coming off the bench. And again, those guys need to be physically imposing game in and game out, just because I look at our schedule and I don't see maybe a couple teams here or there that can match their size and athleticism. So we need to utilize that and make that an advantage of ours.
And of course, those boys will be showcasing what they've got and how they've improved in this first game. And I know there's always a lot of nerves. There's family in for the holiday. Big crowd. There was a big crowd last night for the girls' game as well. So I know they'll be amped up a little bit. And sometimes it's hard, even though it's a school that's 10 minutes away down the highway. Sometimes it's hard to get a good read on a team. And of course, they're starting a new era as well with a new head coach after Hank Whedon leaves. They bring in Mike Brown, a seasoned veteran, Paoli, Crawford, South Dearborn, Shaw. Just talk to us a little bit about what this year's version of the Lions may look like as you take us into the scouting report.
We know their personnel. We don't really know a whole lot about what they're going to do offensively. But if you look at the past teams that Mike Brown has had defensively, I expect to see, a lot of different looks. They could play man, they could press, they could trap in the full court, trap in the half court, throw zone looks at us. So we've got to be prepared for everything. And we've been trying, we've put in all our offenses for all those types of situations. And then their personnel, they're not going to be real big, but they're going to be very quick. And they've got 2 senior guards that are going to lead the team, and they're very skilled players. Xavier Henniges will be probably one of the top 3 players we see all year on our schedule. So, containing penetration, not letting them get runouts for layups, and making them bang around with us when they're on defense. I think that's going to help us, just because we have that size and strength advantage.
And I think it'd be fair to say, and even Salem fans would have to agree, they've not traditionally, in the past 10 to 15 years especially, been a team built on a lot of size on the interior. They've been more guard-oriented, like you said. Henniges likes to dribble drive, likes to get in there and create shots on kickouts for guys. So defensively, how do you try to bottle him up a little bit tonight and try to contain him on the defensive end?
We're going to start in our normal man-to-man defense, and we play a gap man-to-man defense, which it's built to contain the dribble drive. If we play it correctly, those driving gaps shouldn't be there like you would see in a normal man-to-man setting. And we're really going to exaggerate those gaps when Henniges has the ball. We can't leave whoever has Henniges on an island. That's just going to lead to trouble for us. He's going to get in the lane and create, like you said, for other guys. So if we can stay in the gaps, I think that's going to be our big advantage, and then limit them to one shot and then make them work on the defensive end.
And talking about making them work on the defensive end, that brings me into my next question. You mentioned the size and athleticism that we have with Jake, with Harrison, and different guys. Even our guards are pretty big and can be physical at times. So how do we utilize our strengths inside?
I mean, the guys inside got to want the ball. They got to establish the post position. We're going to put them in scenarios to get the ball in the post. They need to, work hard, and then the guards need to look for them. I mean, if they're working their tails off and you see two numbers, we got to get them the ball. And like you said, our guards are physically stronger as well and bigger. Our guards are taller than they are. I think our guards are stronger than they are. So along with trying to establish the post, our guards got to be aggressive. That we can't be on our heels. They're going to want to trap us. We can't wait on traps. We've got to be aggressive going to the rim and go score, or look to draw and dump to one of our big guys.
Biggest X factor in this game to help you guys come away with a win?
I would say establishing the post, staying aggressive, and not giving up transition buckets would probably be our biggest keys tonight.
And finally, Coach, what about your starting lineup? I know you mentioned a three-guard set, but give us your starters and some of the guys we'll see quickly off the bench.
Starters will have Holden Bousman, Parker Green, Caden Abels, and then Harrison Sanford and Jake Strange. And then the guys off the bench will be Mikey Nichols, Bobby Stevens, and Chase Farmer.
Coach, it's been a pleasure. Of course, get to work with you every day as in the same grade level as a sixth grade teacher, but good to be able to sit down with you and have this conversation, and look for many more exciting conversations to come, and hopefully a big one after tonight's ball game after a win.
Yeah, let's hope so. Thanks.
Best of luck, Clayton. We'll be back with more of our pregame in a moment. You're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Black Friday savings start now at Ace with our biggest holiday light sale of the season. We have everything you need to deck the halls with huge savings on holiday lights. Find great deals like buy one, get one free on 100-count LED mini light sets, or 20% off all regular price Celebrations LED light sets. It's the best time to buy your holiday lights and everything you need to make your home the best looking house on the block. Only at Ace. Offer valid through November 26th at participating stores while supplies last.
We come back courtside here at the Everett Dean Court inside of the Lions Den Brooks Memorial Gymnasium. The Senators on the road to open up the 2018-2019 basketball campaign as they take on their rival, the Salem Lions. In our pregame coverage here, let's break down tonight's keys to victory, brought to you by our pregame sponsor, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. First and foremost, Coach, under pressure, can our guards handle the different kind of pressure looks that we'll see in the half and three-quarter court from Mike Brown that he's carried in his hip pocket from Paoli into every stop that he's made. Number two, production in the paint. We obviously have a size advantage with our length. Jake inside, Harrison inside, and even some of our guard matchups as well. Can we take advantage of that and get to the line? And then, as a result, number three, if we get to the line, can we finish? We were both a little frustrated, even just in the inner squad watching last Friday night over in the friendly confines. This team is one that at times struggled a lot last year. They've showed signs that maybe they're struggling a little bit. I've talked to Coach Sullivan about it a few times during the school day. This is an issue that he's a little bit worried about as well. Those are our keys to victory, brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors. This season, Eddie Gilstrap's proud to sponsor the Senators on Salem's 1220. Stop in and check out their selection of new and pre-owned vehicles just south of the square in Salem on the lot, or check out the deals that they have by phoning them at 812-883-3401. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, 207 South Main Street in Salem. Coach, this should be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that year's progression it we'll see from the Senators. He said, Coach Sullivan said it in his pregame. He said these guys are a year stronger. They're a year mentally stronger. So it's going to be exciting. And I want to go back to, last year, we were frustrated. At the end of the year, even last year, going into the sectional, we shot 61.5% from the free throw line. That's going to be big, especially tonight when you have a big team like this. We should be getting some opportunities from the line. We've got to knock them down.
We want to thank you once again for tuning in to our first Senator Tip-Off pregame show of the season. We're just about set here for the national anthem inside of Brooks Memorial Gymnasium. A packed house as always for this annual Thanksgiving Eve showdown. A lot of family and friends in the area, I'm sure, for family meals tomorrow. And this one should be a fun one. We'll step aside for the national anthem. We'll hear a word from the sponsor. We'll come back and run down our starting lineups right after this.
We congratulate all the businesses, large and
Back once again to the Everett S. Dean Court. We are now ready to meet tonight's starting lineups for both the host Lions and your West Washington Senators. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. First, for the host Salem Lions, under the direction of head coach Mike Brown in his first season here at Salem. 473 to 258 is his win-loss record in his 32nd year overall. This team last year, of course, losing a few guys like Hunter Whedon, averaged 57, and they gave up just over 50 points per game. They finished 17-7 last year, 6-3 in the Mid-Southern. They'll start a two-guard set. Number 22, Xavier Hindigas, 5'10" and a senior, at 14 points per game last year to help lead the way with Whedon in the scoring department. In the backcourt, he'll be joined by another senior, 5'10", Landon Suvak, wearing number 10. He averaged 12.5 last year and 3 boards for the Lions. Up front, at the 3 spot, number 4, Myron Mead, 6'4" and a junior, averaged 4 points per game and 3 rebounds last year for Salem. In the front court, he'll be joined by 32, Shane Mahiran, 5'11" and a junior, scored 1.5 points per game last year for Coach Whedon. And Gavin Fleming will round out the front line, number 11, a 5'11" junior at 5 points per game last season for Salem. Meanwhile, for Clayton Sullivan, he enters his first season at the helm of the Senator program. Last year, the Senators averaged 46.8, virtually the same team back, despite losing 2 seniors last year. A lot of these scoring pieces back. They gave up nearly 50 per game, finished 8-16. They'll start a 2-guard set. Number 2, Holden Bousman, 6'1" and a sophomore, averaged 8.5 per game last year. He'll be joined by number 11, the senior, 5'9", Caden Abels, 2.8 points per game last season for him. Up front, in the front court, the 3 spot, number 12, Parker Green, a 6'1" sophomore, 7 points per game and nearly 4 boards last season to go along with 24. Harrison Sanford, 6'3" and a junior at 5.5 points per game last year. In the middle will be the big dog, Jake Strange, number 32, 6'5" and a sophomore, 4.5 points per game was his average last season. He come on late with the scoring. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials, Mr. Bob Singlis,
Dick Hammond and Lou Hammond. Senators in the road blue Under Armour uniforms trimmed in white and red letters and numerals. Salem in the home white threads trimmed in black and gold, black letters and numerals trimmed in gold. And Coach Sullivan having a word with one of the officials here as we get ready to get underway. It'll be Jake Strange and Meade at the center court on the S to tip this one off. And we are just about underway into 2018-2019 basketball season. Senators will move on your 1220 AM dial, starting out from right to left. Whistle blows. Bob Singlace throws the ball in the air. Senators easily control the opening tip, and away we go. Bousman off right side to Abels, back out top on the reversal to Sanford. Sanford gives it up to Holden, who looks down the post to Strange. Strange, one dribble, turns into the paint, misses the little baby hook shot. Myron Meade pulls down the rebound for the Lions. Henniges quickly back the other way, left side to the trailer. Meade gets in the paint, and he'll be whistled for the game's first turnover. Travel for Meade, 7:35 to go here in the first quarter. Good start for the Senators. Had a good look inside, trying to attack, and we'll see now if they can handle some of this three-quarter court or full court pressure that the Lions are applying. They hit the middle. Holden into the front court, gives it up to Sanford. Pull-up jumper will not go. Fights for his own rebound, comes up with a good hustle for Sanford. Off to Bousman. Nice feed underneath the Strange. And they're going to call Holden for the player control. That'll be a turnover, and that'll be Holden's first. They got him before he was able to dish it off to Jake for the easy finish. And the Senators will reset defensively at the 7:20 mark, still scoreless. Glad to have you along with us. Misty Jones alongside of Senator Football's own Mark Gibson.
Yeah, it was a nice look, but you got to be able to come to a jump stop or something. Holden can't get into foul trouble. I think he's the X factor for the Senators.
Here in the right side in front of the Senator coaching bench. They flip it back over now on the wing to Subak, who could not land a three from the left wing. Quick outlet to Strange, and he stopped too soon, just short of the basket. And if he had just took another step, Coach, he'd have been able to catch up with the pass, I believe, from Abels. Quickly, 2 turnovers now for West Washington, 1 for the Lions.
Yeah, a little bit of nerves maybe, and that's okay. I like his body language. Last year he would have had bad body language after that, but that's fine.
Underneath, nice dribble drive take by Henniges. Left baseline would not go as he was working against Green. Now into the front court. As Holden was able to find Abels, he got himself into a little bit of trouble. Coach Sullivan says, hey, let's slow things down a little bit, gain our composure. That's 3 quick turnovers for West Washington. Only 2 shots rather to their credit. 1 for Jake and 1 for Harrison as Henniges brings it back across the timeline right in front of us now off to the left side. Meade controls on the wing. Back out top. Goes to Meagher around the horn down to Subak, who works against Bousman. Reversal out top to Fleming. As the Lions now are patient against the Senator man-to-man on this trip. 6:18 and counting first quarter, still scoreless here from the Everdeen court. Good defense for West Washington in the half court as Parker picks up Henniges left side, forces him to give it up, and now he'll get it right back from Meagher. A couple of dribbles with the basketball, and kicks it back out to Subak, to Meagher, now to Meade, right in front of Coach Sullivan. 3-point away is good, and Myron Meade will open up the scoring in this one as Salem grabs the quick 3-0 advantage. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in this first quarter. Bousman will look to attack, stops, pops, hesitation, can't get it to go. Nice follow by Sanford, couldn't get it to go. Parker with an offensive rebound from Harrison, back out to Holden, who hits a little teardrop with a little kiss off the glass, and Holden's on the board for West Washington, make it 3-2 with 2.5 gone by now here in the first.
That's good stick-to-itiveness. That's what they just got to do that all game. I mean, just stay positive even if things aren't going in.
Senators give up an open look to Henniges, this time right side down in front of us on the kick out. He was unable to connect once again. Back to Parker, and Parker tried to take Meade, had him left side, but he traveled first. So 4 quick turnovers. We'll see our first substitution of the night for the Lions. It'll be Brandon Petmeyer. Brandon Petmeyer, a 6-foot senior, checks in. Double thumbs up.
We were worried about the turnovers coming in, but it's not like it's not the pressure. We're just playing too fast.
JV Senators fell tonight to the Lions. The Lions looking for the sweep. Senators hoping for the split. Nearing the halfway point of this first quarter of play. Senators still with their starting 5. Sanford, Strange, and Green up front with Abels and Bousman in the backcourt. Senators stick with the man-to-man. Now they'll go a little overload. 4 guys on one side. Now they'll sprint it back out. A little 2-1-2 action. Meade has it out top in the corner to Hindigus in front of Coach Sullivan on the baseline. Goes into the paint, splits 3 defenders. Nice scoop shot off the glass. And Hindigus able to get his first 2 of the night. Not just 2 more on the board for the Lions. They lead at 5-2. As Abels will split pressure to leave it off for Sanford, who had it blocked from behind. Nice block by Pittmeyer. And the Lions now back in transition underneath. A feed wide open was Fleming. He airballed it underneath on the bunny. We're at the halfway point here. This first quarter of play, 5-2. Salem out in front. Coach Myers and Coach Sullivan both after their guys here. They look for the open man as Holden couldn't get anything to go. Had 2 shots at it, point-blank range on his follow. He couldn't get it to fall either. They'll leave it off for Subak. Nice feed from Hindigus. And Subak's got his first basket of the night. And it's 8-2 quick.
30-second
Timeout for Coach Sullivan. 30-second timeout. Keep it right here. 3:45 to go. First quarter of play. And Coach Sullivan now having to work with his guys. Not overly animated, but maybe just trying to get them to slow down the pace and talk a little bit about their rotations as Hindigus did a nice job just leaving it off. Subak had some space, recognized it, able to knock the shot down, but kind of expected this. Maybe a little bit of nerves, maybe, out of these guys, even though they're ballers, they're competitors, they're gamers. You know, a big environment like this, I think sometimes kids, we seen it last night, I think with some of the girls, maybe a little shell-shocked in a big environment like this, but Senators will come out of the timeout at 3:45 and face full-court pressure again. Hindigus there to knock it away as Bousman tried to gather it in.
Yeah, this is where the poise comes in. You know, 8-2, it's not the start you wanted, but there's all kinds of time left. And like I said, the turnovers haven't come from Salem's pressure. It's just we're playing too fast. And again, we're just not shooting the ball very well either.
Senators get it quickly into the front court. Bousman will get it now to the volleyball spike line. They'll feed down low on the block. Strange had it, went off the dribble, lost it off his foot. Turnover number 5 here early for the Senators as they continue to try to find some footing. Hindigus out top takes a screen from Trell Howard and down the 3. Make it now 11-2, and we'll see our first substitution of the night for West Washington. Bobby Stevens, a 5'9" sophomore, will check into the ball game. Sanford will check out. 11-2. Just 1 foul called in this one thus far as we're near the 3-minute mark. Parker able to get it off to Stevens, now to Holden. And Holden will circle around the Hindigus and bring it back out as Hindigus picks him up as we expected in the pregame. Off the right side now, able to go off the dribble. Again, Trell Howard, a 6'2" sophomore, is checked in for Mike Brown and the Lions. Senators will have it underneath their own basket. Foul against the Lions is their first of the night. Puts the Senators in a box set as Parker Green triggers it in. They get a screen for him. Parker gets it back from Holden. Nice dribble drive take. And Parker's on the board with his first 2. That ends a little 8-0 run.
Needed that. Needed to stop the bleeding a little bit. Now you got to do some work on the defensive side.
That foul, by the way, was on the Lions, number 21, Brody Pittmeyer. And Hindigus able to answer right back with another
got away with a
bucket.
little skip step there.
Senators face a little 2-2-1 pressure and having trouble breaking it. Finally get it into the front court. Strange back off to Bousman now, and he'll slow things up and circle the wagons again. 2:23 and counting first quarter. 13-4 your score underneath. Strange has it blocked from behind. And Brent Pittmeyer thought he had it clean. Let's see if he's the one tagged with the personal. Bob Singles will come to the scorer's bench and let us know. That will go against Brody Pittmeyer instead. And so the Lions pick up 2 quick ones, both on Brody. And we'll see more substitutions to come as Jake Strange goes to the free throw line. Just a 48% free throw shooter last season. And he's able to connect on the first. So substitutions here as we'll see number 20, Dylan Ramirez, check in. He is a 6'2" senior for the Lions. And for West Washington, first action of the night for senior guard 5'9" Mikey Nichols into the ball game. And second one no good for Strange, so make it now 13-5. Senators on the floor with Stevens, Nichols, Bausman, Green, and Strange as Meade can't connect from downtown. Senators escape on that possession defensively. Nice feed underneath it. Holden throws it down low to Bobby on the left block. And Stevens couldn't connect on the basket, but he'll be fouled. This is the third whistled against the Lions. And that's Brandon Petmeyer. So the Petmeyer boys filling up the stat column in terms of fouls here in this first period. 2:01 to play, 13-5, and Bobby Stevens will step to the free throw line. Did not attempt a free throw last season. Only saw very, very limited action in a few games at the varsity level. It was a JV spark plug, though, as Harrison Sanford will check back in. Strange will get a break.
One thing Bobby brings is a lot of speed. You know, he got down court in a flash that time, and he was behind everybody. Holden did a fine job looking for him, too.
Bobby hit the first, missed the second, 13-6 as we dip under 2 minutes to play first quarter. Petmeyer off to his brother Brandon, who leaves it short. Trell Howard with the rebound, though, as he was able to beat our bigs to the spot. Trell Howard, 6'2 sophomore, will get the offensive board. And he will earn a trip to the foul line as Mikey Nichols pick up the team's second. Bausman had the first. Nichols gets that one on the slap underneath.
That's definitely one thing we can't do. I mean, especially a guy off the bench like that to get offensive rebounds. I mean, you're looking at a 7-point deficit and giving up an offensive board that's leading to points.
Howard connects on the first. Substitution here is Hendigas back in. Brody Petmeyer will have a seat, so it's Hendigas out there with Ramirez, Brandon Petmeyer, Meade, and Trell Howard. Senators have Stevens, Green, Bausman, Sanford, and Stevens.
It's just a warning. I'm not sure what that was.
Howard hit both the free throws, make it 15-6. Senators easily break the pressure again as Bausman works against Brandon Petmeyer. And Hendigas now will pick up Sanford to see if we can get the mismatch that we want in the post. Missed him there on the lob baseline side. They'll go back to Bausman now left side. His three way off the mark. Doesn't draw any iron. Trell Howard collects the rebound for the Lions. They push in transition. Hendigas will go in off glass. Wild shot. Does a lot of flopping and a lot of exaggerated movement off the dribble drive, and that one didn't pay off for him as Green can't connect from downtown off the pass from Bausman, but he chases down his own rebound and gets it back out to Holden, who will reset it. Off to Bobby now, far corner, right side, back out to Parker. Parker back to Holden. He's picked up by Petmeyer. Down low, Howard working with Sanford, and Sanford had it blocked by Meade on the help side defense into the hands of Hendigas. He pushes 2 on 3, and the Lions miss another one. As this time Brody ends up, or Brandon rather, ends up in the same spot Hendigas did on the last trip. Nice feed in the front court though as Sanford finds him trailing. Holden Bausman for 2 more off the glass with another little smooch off the window. 15-8 your score, Lions in front. Half minute to go here in this first quarter of play as Bobby comes out to pick up Hendigas.
You can see they're starting to calm down and get back into the flow of the game. So this is a big defensive stop right here.
Senators can come up with one as Stevens will come out with a quick feet. He'll pick up Hendigas, try to force him to give it up. Trell Howard comes out to look to get a double screen for him perhaps and free Bobby. Shake him a little bit. See if Hendigas can use those screens effectively and turn the corner quickly. He does, splits a double team, throws up a wild shot off the mark, no good. Senators give up the offensive board though. Ramirez nearly throws it away. They give it to Brandon Petmeyer. His heave at the buzzer will not go, and that's how we will end the first quarter of action. 15-8 after 8 minutes of play here from the Everett Estine Court. Lions lead the Senators after the first quarter of play. Tonight you're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 12. Gymnasium, 15-8 after the first quarter of play. Senators trailing by 7 to the Lions. Senators will come out to start the second quarter with Strange, Green, Bousman, Abels, and Sanford, their original starting 5. Coach Sullivan hoping his group has now settled in after a quarter of play. Certainly the game still much within reach for West Washington. They've just got to weather the storm on a few runs. Basketball's a game of runs, but offensively we haven't really been fluent.
No, and it goes back to even last year where we shot 46% from 2. You want to be somewhere 50% or over. We were 3 of 10 from in the first quarter from 2. We got to shoot better than that.
Hendigas thought about a 3 from way downtown in the parking lot. As Mead will go left side, a little floater from the baseline will go for Mead. He now has 5 in the ball game, make it 17-8. Senators turn it over against the full court pressure, and now we'll have a Senator foul. So add insult to injury here. The foul will go on Jake Strange. That'll be his first. So Strange, Bousman, and Nichols all with 1 apiece. Substitution as Gavin Fleming will come in, and he will spell Trell Howard momentarily. So Mahurin back in there with Fleming, Mead, Hendigas, and Ramirez. And now we'll have a whistle and a foul again. And now the Senator fans behind us, which has filled up the entire upper level behind us and to our immediate right. They're not happy with this crew as Dick Heyman called another foul on Jake Strange. Didn't really see what happened there, but that'll be team foul number 4. Jake will have 2, and he'll take a seat. So the Senator lineup gets somewhat smaller, and then they give up a wide open look underneath to Gavin Fleming as he picks up his first basket of the night, make it now 19-8. First double-digit lead of the night. The Senators turn it over again, 7th turnover. And Coach Sullivan, I think, seen enough, and he's going to burn another timeout. This one will be a full timeout, so we'll step aside and take one as well. You're listening to Senator Basketball Tonight on Salem's 1220. Back with more right after this.
People make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
.21 to go here in the first half of play, 19-8. Senators coming off of back-to-back turnovers and a full timeout for Coach Sullivan. Salem will have it across the way in front of their cheer block. Again at the 7:21 mark of the quarter, Jake Strange on the bench with 2 personals back-to-back just moments ago as the Senators, before that timeout and quick turnover flurry, checked in for the first time tonight the junior Chase Farmer. That's 6'1". Hendigas, left side to the elbow, feeds it out to Mead, who tries to go underneath the Fleming. Now to Mahurin, and we're going to have a 3-second violation, second turnover of the night for the Lions. 7:02 to play in the quarter, and Mike Brown now will dial up some full court pressure once again. A little condensed 2-2-1 matching up out of it as they get it to Farmer now, far side. He'll stop, give it up to Holden. He'll be picked up by Mead. Interesting matchup here. Mead's got some length, but I'm not sure his quickness matches Holden's off the dribble. Holden gets it. They're giving him baseline. Instead, they go underneath to Sanford. He'll rise above and able to connect on the fadeaway jumper over Fleming. Harrison now has his first 2 of the night into another little drought, make it now 19-10. Hendigas now right side. Gives it up in the corner. Mahurin will dribble out of trouble. Out to Suvak. Around the horn it goes left side. Mead has it. Looking for a screen. Instead goes baseline. Stops, pops. Can't get the little floater to go from about 10 feet away at an angle. And Holden will pull down the defensive board.
Okay, now they're starting to get back in the flow again. That was a bad start to the quarter. 2 unforced turnovers.
And trying to overplay the passing lane, Mead just about climbs the back of Holden, and Mead will pick up the team's 4th personal for Salem. And on the night, that'll be his first as Parker will look to inbound. Tries to get it in to Abels, who's
Got to
picked
be
up by
stronger
Hendigas.
with our passes. We have to be,
Be stronger,
stronger with the ball. I mean, we're just not playing. We're playing soft right now.
Abels gets it into the front court, splits 2 defenders, gets to the rack and able to connect on a little floater. Abels has his first 2 of the night, make it 19-12. Back to the other end, though. Suvac leaves a 3-ball short from the corner pocket. And West Washington now in business, 5:42 and counting here in the second quarter, 19-12.
Yeah, this is a big possession. Need to put the ball in the hoop here.
Back to Sanford. He's working down low. Turnaround jumper would not go against Fleming. And now on the leak out, Suvac will try to save it in. He does to Fleming, who has it blocked off the backboard. Sanford with the big defensive stopper on that trip, and now the Senators will slow it up as Parker walks it into the front court, hands it off to his classmate, Holden Bousman. Bousman with it out top, trying to go to Farmer, who wasn't looking. Turnover number 8, behind the back. Nice move by Fleming. He couldn't finish. Salem has blown 3 or 4 wide open layup opportunities as Nichols will check in. The next dead ball opportunity for West Washington. 3 minutes gone by in the quarter, 19-12. Holden turns it over
twice.
again. Back-to-back
And he gets
turnovers
a
for
silly
Holden.
foul.
And a silly second foul. So now in a bit of a pickle here. Not only does he have back-to-back turnovers, but now his second personal. And we may see Bobby Stevens check in. And we're also going to see on this exchange, not only Nichols and Stevens check in for West Washington, we'll also see Max Wells, a 6-foot sophomore, check in for his first minutes of the night for Coach Brown and the Lions. So different looks here for both teams.
Trying to climb the mountain a little bit. I say mountain, it's only 7-9 point deficits, but we're just carelessly throwing the ball around. Soft, non-crisp passes.
Another 3-second call. You don't see a whole lot of those.
Yeah, that's twice.
That's 2. Mike Brown has nothing to say about that one. That's turnover number 3. Senators have turned it over 9 times already in this first half as we near the halfway point of the quarter. Stevens has it. Back now working the V on the press break. Green to Sanford. Splits 2 guys. He'll try to get to the rack. Floater will go. He's got to count that one.
He's not counting it.
Bob Singles is going to wave that off. But in an NBA world, Coach,
boy.
that one you count it.
There's a late whistle then if that didn't count.
Team foul number 5 against the Lions, and that'll be
Be interesting, the Senators that first quarter led the rebounding edge 11-7 with 4 offensive. Holden had 5 boards, so with him on the bench now, somebody else is going to have to crash the boards.
Coach, that was the second on Meade underneath. Green gets it, almost got the turnaround hook to go off the glass. Nice feed from Nichols off the corner pass after the inbounds, and we'll have team foul number 6 as Senators inch closer to bonus basketball from the charity stripe in this first half. Parker Green to the line, a 63% shooter last season. His first one rattles home. So Parker's got 3 here in this first half, looking for number 4, as it is now 19-13. That foul, by the way, on Dylan Ramirez. His first, again, team 6 for the Lions as Parker knocks them both down. And the Senators now as close as they've been in quite some time, 19-14. See if they can continue to make a little run here, even with Holden on the bench before the half. In the corner, 3-ball, Mahurin. That one rims in and out, no good. Wells was all over the back of Abels, who secured the rebound. Now he'll split 2 defenders, leave it off for Harrison. He'll pull it back out wisely. Didn't have the angle on Hennigas. And now we'll get a quick bump on Hennigas, and Mike Brown does not like that one.
No, he didn't like that one.
And that's team foul number 7. As Brown gets Bob Singles the stink eye. 4:05 to go here in the first half. 19-14. And so
Xavier's first. But,
Hennigas picks up his first personal, but more importantly, that puts the Senators in the bonus the rest of the way home, but we cannot convert. But Harrison,
nice, Bobby.
Harrison got the putback opportunity. Bobby, there he is. Mr. Hustle, and he gets a putback up to the offensive rebound that started that sequence. So Sanford can't connect. Missed the front end of the bonus. Bobby got the rebound tip to Harrison, who missed his shot. Bobby comes up with another offensive rebound and a putback. Hennigas now to the rack. Counted and one with a strong take. Hennigas has his first points of the quarter. Give him now 9 in the first half. Chance for our first old-fashioned three-point play of the ball game.
First team sixth. The basket was good by number 22, Xavier Hennigas, who's at the line shooting one.
Had it 19-16 after that put back by Bobby, coach, and then come down and give up a possible three-point play to Hennigas, who's an 80% free throw shooter off of last season. He connects on the three-point play opportunity, so give him an even 10 now. First player in double figures for either squad. 22 to 16 underneath. Nice feed. Harrison can't finish underneath, wide open. We'll come back to the other end. Now we'll have a foul from behind. And Harrison hops up off the floor and has some words for Ramirez. Bob Singles now will have some words for Harrison, try to get him calmed down. So the Senators now pick up their 7th personal as well. So both teams in the bonus for the last 3:31 of the half. Farmer will come in. Sanford will check out. Coach Sullivan will try to put the brakes on the temperament of number 24. Now the officials will talk at half court. It'll be Suvac that goes to the line. He's got 3 points on the night, a three-point basket early in the first quarter. No damage yet in this second period of play. Chance to extend this lead out. A 6-point advantage right now, 22-16. Leaves the front end of the bonus short. And Nichols comes up with it, leaves it off for Green. Green looking for a reversal. Now he'll go to the half-court circle as Chase was able to collect it, give it off to Nichols, and we'll see if we can slow it up here and get a good one. Bobby has it in the corner, back out to Farmer. This is more of a defensive lineup with Nichols, Farmer, and Bobby in there.
Yeah, offensively, there's some, inexperience. It should have been Mikey and Parker should have calmed us down there, but we just got.
Senators turn it over, by the way. They're 10th now of the half. 3:11 and counting before the halftime break. 22-16, Senators hanging tough with some foul trouble. Holden and Jake Strange both on the bench with 2 personals each. Hennigas skies in, another floater, but this one will not go off the back iron. Farmer collects the defensive rebound and lays it off for Green. Green will have to bring it up and work the point here as he works against Brandon Petmeyer. Lays it off for Farmer. Farmer then turns it right over. And that's number 11 for West Washington. Story of the first half. That is the big storyline. That's the difference maker right now.
Yeah, we're just hanging on with our fingertips right now because we're turning the ball over way too much.
Brandon Petmeyer with it out there with Suvac, Hennigas, Wells, and Meade. Senators have Abels, Nichols, Green out there with Stevens, and Farmer. We'll see Holden come in, and they're going to roll the dice and put in their spark plug. Holden Bousman, their floor general, with 2 personals here as we near the 2-minute warning in this first half. Salem being patient on this trip against the Senator man-to-man, which they've stuck with throughout this first half of play. Petmeyer fires it over to Suvac. He'll step it out now and give it off to Wells on the right side. Right back to Petmeyer off the cut. He had Abels beat to the spot. He cannot connect at the rim. The foul on Abels will be his first, team foul number 8 now for West Washington. A minute 56 to go here in the first half. And Farmer and Meade perhaps exchanging some words, and Bob Singles will step in as the head of this crew.
Quit worrying about talking and start worrying about playing.
Yeah, too much jawing as Brandon Petmeyer throws up a brick off the back iron.
Start figuring out how to hit some shots. So we were just, like I said, and I hope it's not a bugaboo all season, but we were just not shooting very well.
Second one up, that one won't go. Farmer collects the defensive board, and Bousman back in with the 2 personals. Let's see how this rolls. $1:50 to go here in the first half. Bousman out there with Nichols, Abels, Green, and Farmer, and he misses the turnaround jumper. Hennigas will lead the fast break quickly into the front court. 3 on the way. It's good. As Suvac connects on his second triple of the night. Just like that, it's back to a 9-point advantage at 25-16. No look pass into the front court. Oh, beautiful pass. Nichols able to thread the eye of the needle, go between the legs of a Salem defender and give it up to Farmer. But it's going to be last touched by Salem, so it'll stay on that end. Beautiful no look. On the feed from Nichols, just could not connect. Box set for West Washington. They'll get it in Ball side corner, Farmer right back into Green. He'll try to take advantage, and he does with his size and strength in the guard matchup. He's got 6 now as he finishes off the window. 25-18 your score. Brandon Petmeyer with it now, and the ball reversal is the trailer. Gives it up to Hendigas, to Suvak. Now back out top to Mahurin, who's fresh back into the ball game with Fleming. 1 minute to play here in this first half. They stop and they leave Hendigas alone. That's a no-no. Come up lucky there on that trip as he's not able to connect from downtown on the wide open look. And Nichols and Abels just about miscommunicate, turn it over again. And Coach Sullivan's starting to get a little animated as he calls out what he wants, a little 3-up set play here. Gonna try to spread the floor. Oh, maybe he's gonna try to hold for one and try to grab some momentum going into the halftime break. Senators trailing at 25-18. Half minute to play. Bausman, would have been a serious heat check there. I thought he was gonna pull a trigger. Out top, Nichols gives it off now down in front of us. Abels has it, left side. Coach Brown barking out defensive instructions. They'll start to run and jump. And the Senators nearly turn it over. Bausman gets it, and now to Farmer, another crazy pass. And then the Senators get it right back off of a steal, and we'll have a foul. So the Senators turn it over for the 12th time. Salem gives it right back on their 4th turnover. And then we have a Salem foul. This will be team foul number 8. That'll be the first on Suvak, as we're going to see Bobby Stevens check back in for holding so he don't get a cheap one with 4.8 on the clock. Abels will check out. Charles Madden will see his first minutes of the night. First career varsity minutes for Charles Madden. Didn't play last year. Mikey Nichols to the free throw line. Big free throws, and he soaks the first. The senior, a 67% free throw shooter last season. He has his first point of the night. And that makes it 25-19. Can't give up something silly here in the final 4.8. Second one on the way is good for Nichols. So give him 2. 25-20.
Stop ball.
Hennigas, right side, crossover against Green, gets to the rack, misses it. And they're going to count that off.
No way.
Oh, Fleming. And the Senator fans, I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure Clayton giving Dick Hammond and Lou Hammond an earful as they go off the court. Harry Sanford and Brian Farmer giving this crew an earful as well, as they're going to give Fleming the putback off the glass in the closing 0.2 or so of a second as time expired, they say. I thought that the light had already went on the backboard, but nonetheless, that brings us to a 27-20 score here at the halftime break. We will step aside, collect our breath, collect some stats, and we will come back to begin our Senator halftime report, brought to you by McDonald's on South Main Street in Salem. We'll come back right after this.
That was terrible, wasn't it, Don?
For 80 years, Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem has made thousands of both car and truck shoppers car and truck buyers. And that commitment to customer sales and service continues to pay off. It's more than low prices and incentives and service after the sale. You've been hearing that for the 2nd year in a row, they've been awarded the 2017 Ford President's Award. I mean, to win something that only 340 Ford dealerships across the country out of over 5,000, well, that's pretty special, wouldn't you say? The President's Award is based upon achieving the highest level of customer sales, service satisfaction, and overall experience. And the credit not only goes to manager Steve Motzinger and his entire staff, but to you, the buying public. If you've already purchased a new or pre-owned Ford, car, truck, or SUV from Eddie Gilstrap Motors, you already know what we mean. Congratulations from everyone at WSLM Radio. Eddie Gilstrap Motors, your #1 choice. On the web at EddieGilstrapMotorsINC.com.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the premium quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside from 4 a.m. to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Back inside of Brooks Memorial Gymnasium, where it is halftime. Salem leads it 27-20 in an interesting first half, to say the least. Let's run down the scoring for both clubs. First for the host Lions, 27 points on the board here at the half, led by 10, as expected, by their senior point man, Xavier Hendigas. 10 points in that first half of play, 7 of those 10 coming in the first quarter. He was able to knock down just one shot from downtown, but he had several good looks. Landon Sue back with a couple of triples to his credit. 0 for 1 from the free throw line for 6 points in the first half. Myron Mead with 5 spread out among the first 2 quarters of play. Gavin Fleming scores 4, and the other starter, Shane Mahiran, goes scoreless in the first half of play. Off the bench, Dylan Ramirez plays, does not score, as well as Brody Petmeyer, Brandon Petmeyer, Max Wells, and the sophomore 6'2" big man, Trell Howard. Reese McCoskey, the only one to not get into the action in the first half for Mike Brown's ball club. Lions go 3 of 6 from the charity stripe for 50% in that first half of play, and just 4 turnovers, but 3 of those 4 coming in the second quarter of action. Meanwhile, for West Washington, 20 points on the board here at the half, led by Parker Green, 6 points. Holden has 4, all coming in that first quarter of play. Caden Abels chips in 2 in the second quarter of action. Harrison Sanford just 2 points in the first half as well, and Jake Strange 1 of 2 from the free throw line for his lone point of the half. Bobby Stevens, Mikey Nichols, Chase Farmer, and Charles Madden all play off the bench for Coach Sullivan in that first half of play. Bobby comes in, chips in 3, including 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Nichols 2 of 2 from the free throw line for his 2 points. Farmer and Madden scoreless, as the Senators go 6 of 9 from the free throw line for 67% in the first half of play. But again, the storyline, 12 turnovers, the real bugaboo right now for West Washington in a really tight ball game. They got down as much as 19-8 and an 11-point advantage, the largest of the half for the Salem Lions, but the Senators roar back with an answer of their own. Got it as close as 19-14 at one point. Salem able to extend that though and go on a little run of their own, spread it back out to 22-16, and then eventually cap off the first half with a very questionable putback by Fleming, as the Senator fans thought the time had expired and the light had come on the backboard. Coach, you ready to give us some other team statistics?
Yeah, absolutely. It comes down to, like you said, the turnovers. At West Washington, we were killing them on the boards, 21-11. Rebounded them by 10, in the half. So, I mean, it's just, you got to take care of the ball. I mean, it comes down to that and making shots. For Salem, they were 6 of 16. Luckily, they didn't shoot real well from 2 either, for 38%. Another big key is they actually drained some threes where the Senators did not. Salem was 4 of 10 for 40%. West Washington 0 of 3. So, that's a big part of the game as well. You've got to knock down shots when they're available, and they did that in the first half. But just going through them, like I said, Salem 6 of 16 for 2 for 38%, 4 of 10 for 40% from 3 for a total of 39%. They only shot 3 of 6 for 50% from the free throws, so that helped the Senators. 11 rebounds, 2 offensive. They had 4 assists, big key, 7 steals, 6 steals in the second quarter alone. So, the Senators were 7 of 18 for inside the arc for 39%, so about the same for both teams. Again, 0 for 3 from 3 for the Senators. 6 of 9 from the free throw line, so 67%, a little bit better. Again, 21 rebounds in the first half, just killed them on the boards. 6 offensive. 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 for Bousman, 1 for Nichols, 2 blocks. Everything's pretty even except for we turn the ball over a ton and they hit some threes.
Absolutely, as the Senators again trail it 27-20 here at the halftime break. We're going to step aside quickly, 10 seconds for station identification. When we come back, we'll be joined by Senator football head coach and the Senator athletic director, Mr. Philip Bousman, here at the halftime break. Let's pause for station identification right now.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Back here at the Everett Team Court, 27-20, as the teams have made their way back out onto the floor. Got a couple of minutes before the third quarter gets underway. We're joined now by Senator head football coach, Mr. Philip Bousman, also, like I said, the athletic director for the Senators. And Coach, we got to talk a little bit on the last couple of Coach's Corner shows. I was able to take over for Bubba there as we wound through the tournament. Just a really good football season, another successful season. I know we maybe left a little on the table, and that maybe is just enough to make the boys hungry going into the off season.
Yeah, I think so. It was disappointing to lose that sectional final game, but to come out of regular season at 7-2, losing to a Paoli team that took Southridge to the wire in a regional title game, lost to a Salem team that, ended up beating Charlestown in round 1. Charlestown had a really good football team, so Salem wasn't a bad football team. They just, their record didn't indicate the kind of team they had. But again, our schedule prepared us to get us to a sectional final, and I felt like we missed some opportunities to come away with that win. But again, like you say, it's just enough to kind of keep that in the back of our mind for the next 365 days. Not even that, that's back to a sectional final. So, getting back to off-season workouts for guys that aren't playing a winter or spring sport, but then more importantly when summer hits. But these guys are going to enjoy their off-season of other sports, but they are definitely already talking about come June.
And quickly here, got about a half minute before the third quarter begins. Nice game and nice effort last night. Good game plan by the Lady Senators, who came up just short.
Yeah, I thought the girls executed just what we wanted. 12-10 game at halftime. We thought if we were going to get them, it was going to need to be in the 20s or low 30s, and we were on pace for that. They threw some stuff at us in the second half. They had probably about 8-point runs, and those 2 different runs sparked that lead, and then we just could never come back. But Salem's a great basketball team. That's why they're ranked number 2 in 3A. But very proud of our girls.
Coach, as always, we enjoy having you on. It's kind of become tradition to have you on at halftime of this game. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too.
Coach Philip Bousman joins us, as always, at halftime of this Thanksgiving Eve showdown. It's kind of, like I said, become tradition for him to join us on our McDonald's halftime report. Senators will open up the third quarter with the rock, trying to get something going offensively as they go back to their original starting 5. Bousman and Abels in the backcourt. Green playing that guard forward 3 spot. Strange and Sanford in the front court. Senators again trailing it by 7. Half minute gone by here in the third. Again, Misty Jones alongside of Senator football's own Mark Gibson as Abels tries to feed high post to Harrison. Turnover number 13. 13 definitely unlucky there.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd come out and say, okay, we're going to play our brand of basketball, be confident with our passes, be confident meeting the ball, and we come out with a turnover.
Now you're hoping that it's not a 4 or 5 point swing after we gave up the tip in at the buzzer, and 3 ball is short from the left side for Suvak. So Senators escape another defensive possession. No harm, no foul, literally, as over a minute's gone by, and the Senators reset in the half court. 6:50 and counting. Again, 27-20 your score. We said the Senators trailed by as many as 11 in that second quarter of play at 19-8 before they started chipping away, and they go immediately inside to Jake, who had to set for quite some time, an extended period with those 2 back-to-back personals. And the foul's going to go on Gavin Fleming, as Fleming at 5'11" was trying to guard a much bigger 6'5" Jake Strange.
Now he's got to be able to put these. We can, when you're trying to erase a 7-point deficit, going 1 for 2 doesn't help. Hopefully 1 for 2 now, because he missed the first.
Hit the first, missed the second on his first trip of the night early in that first quarter. Misses this one. Took a high bounce off the back iron. This one up, and it's long as well, as Hendigas soars in for the rebound. 27-20, minute and a half gone by here in this third quarter of action. Senators now moving on your 1220 dial from left to right as the Senators force the first turnover of the half for the Lions, give them now 5. Abels will slow it up now, left side, leave it off the Bowsman right in front of us. He's picked up by Suvac. Strange gets it high post, little scissors action, off the feed to Jake. 2 guards come through, they get it on an isolation, little give and go. Counted in 1, nice feed on the dime.
Needed that,
Parker drops the dime into the piggy bank. As Jake Strange is able to finish, chance for an and-one opportunity. That's Jake's first field goal of the night. Make it now 27-20. Senators had it down to 5, or excuse me, 22. The Senators, for the second time now, get it down to 5, and Jake finishes with the old-fashioned 3-point play. Big free throw for the big dog, and it's now 27-23, closest it's been for quite some time.
Now, can they dig down? Can you get a couple stops in a row? You start stringing them together, then all of a sudden, brand new ball game.
Better have backside rotation here as they try to go to Fleming in the post. He was working against Abels. Abels is going to give up the foul on the floor before the shot can be made. Abels will pick up his 3rd personal.
I agree. I think he ended up reaching in, but that was a pretty quick whistle. But, you know, sometimes you get those.
He's going to sit with the 3 personals. Mikey Nichols will check in. Nichols with 2 points in the first half, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul, and this one's going to be on
Jake.
Jake Strange, and Jake with a little jawing about got himself in even deeper with the officials. So
and there he goes,
2 guys
to the bench.
2 guys are going to sit with quick personals. He's frustrated with himself, and that will signal Chase Farmer to come in. 5:45 and counting. Hendigas gets into the paint, picked up by Farmer. He'll now cut off the dribble by Suvac on the left side baseline. Out to Mehurin, around the horn from Fleming to Mead. Back out now to Mehurin, and underneath we'll have a whistle and a foul. And they're going to get Mikey Nichols with the body against Fleming. Fleming trying to use his size at 5'11" against a couple of our guards at 5'9" apiece in both Abels and Nichols. And it pays dividends here as Nichols picks up his 2nd personal of the night. Team foul number 3.
There it is again. Luckily, they threw it away. They did the exact same thing in the first half, a little curl on the inbounds play, and they got 2 points. This time they threw it away.
Senators will have it against full-court pressure. Again, more of a condensed 2-2-1.
Take your time.
Try to run and jump out of it. And a deep pass. Fleming nearly able to steal it. He thought it went to the hands of Suvac, and then getting mugged from behind was Holden. He got mugged by Fleming. Check that.
It had to be on Fleming.
It had to be on Fleming. I thought he signaled 22, though, and everybody started flipping out to our left in black and gold. Or check that, he called 2. Well, he was adding 1 and 1, Coach. Foul goes on 11, Gavin Fleming, who picks up his 2nd personal. Now both teams with 3 quick personals as Ramirez will check in, 6'2".
Come on, Blue, you need a little bucket here, and we're right back into this.
Right.
And right now, it doesn't seem like we have momentum, but if we get a bucket here, you got to start saying the momentum swings to Blue.
And the Lions sacrifice an offensive threat as Meade will have a seat. Nichols has it now right side, looking in the post. Can't find Sanford. Missed the opportunity. Farmer with the crossover, feeds down low. Back out to Nichols now. He'll take dribble drive into the paint. Gives it off to Holden, who thought about a step back. Thought better of it. Yep. 3 minutes gone by here in the 3rd. And Nichols now tried to feed in the post. Ball was kicked. Bobby Stevens now will check in at the 4:54 mark. And let's see, it's going to be for Farmer. So trade defense for defense here as Mr. 2K Bobby Stevens, 2,000-yard rusher this season on the gridiron. Good season for him. Let's see if he can't mirror some success now on the basketball floor and help out this varsity squad.
One thing I have seen, he's been more aggressive tonight than he was in the scrimmages last weekend.
Right. Gives it up now to Holden. Holden goes down low to Sanford. Back out to Holden. He'll take a little floater. Baseline teardrop won't go. Big offensive rebound. No putback won't go for Stevens. And he'll get fouled on a 2nd offensive board. So Bobby really crashing the glass. Coach, I know that's at least 3 or 4 offensive boards for him already.
Yeah,
as that'll be a foul on Mehurin. He picks up his first of the night. Team foul number 4 with 4:29 to go.
I thought he was going back up with that. I thought he might be at the line there.
Dangerous pass there as Parker gets it in to Nichols. Now to Sanford on the pump fake. And Coach Sullivan thought he got fouled by Ramirez. Ball tipped away, and it'll go to the Lions. And Coach Sullivan all the way down to the corner at the end of the coach's box.
We got to have Harrison to be. He's got to be more consistent. He's 1 for 9 from the floor. I mean, he's got to be a scoring threat.
Hennigis, right side now, look for that double high screen that he's looked for all night. They'll give it off in the corner. Suvak thought about 3, pump fake. They'll kick it around the perimeter, in and out, no good. The shot will not fall from Ramirez from the right wing, and the Senators still hanging tough here at 27-23. Under 4 minutes to go, we'll have a bump and a foul. Holden able to finish on a little teardrop. Another late bucket well after the whistle, no doubt about it this time, though.
Yeah,
and the foul will be on Suvak, his second, team foul number 5. And we'll see Brody Petmeyer check into the ball game. So now with Meade out and with Suvak out, they're kind of limited offensively, even more so than normal. Counted in 1 as Parker goes right after Ramirez in the post. Parker with a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. He's in the books in this third quarter, getting 8. Looking for number 9, and this is huge, Coach, because now Terrell Howard will check in, a 6'2 sophomore, and Fleming will check out. That foul was on Ramirez, his second, team foul number 6. Next one will put the Senators in the bonus the rest of the way home. Parker, free throws up and good. Parker's three-point play gives him 9, but more importantly, Coach, here we go. It's 27-26.
Being more aggressive, getting to the bucket, you know.
Underneath, nice dribble drive left side. And Hennigis able to answer back. That's his first points of the half. Give him 12 in the ball game, and it's 29-26. Sanford gets it in the front court, looks to go against Howard. Little step back fadeaway will not go. I'd like to have seen him attack Howard instead of the fadeaway, and we'll have a foul. And this one's going to go against Mikey Nichols, his third. And team foul number 4. So the Senators started with a flurry, had 3 quick personals in the quarter, Coach. That's the first one.
Yeah, it comes off like earlier in the game, Holden with a quick shot. All of a sudden, it's almost like a fast break. Run out, three-pointer. That was a bad shot, ends up with a foul. It's amazing how many bad things happen after a bad shot.
29-26, 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Hennigis tries to create another wild leaner, and that one goes. He was one contact, and so was Mike Brown. Does not get the call. He's got 14 now, though, and extends the lead back to 5 at 31-26.
2.5 to go, 2:51. That's it, down 5. I mean, you're right in the ball game. You just got to play smart.
And Hennigis comes off with a smirk on his face as Suvak checks in. And now we'll see what the Senators can dial up, trailing it by 5 at 31-26. Much different than the first matchup between these two teams last year, where the Senators kind of got tipped to the woodshed as Holden misses a 3 from the left side on the leak out. They miss Suvak. Mahurin will push, give it off to Suvak. 3, and Holden's face will not go. Ramirez pulls down the backside board. Back out to Petmeyer. Brody splits 2 defenders, gets into paint. Runner won't go, and Parker pulls down the defensive board. 2:20 and counting third quarter. Holden wanting to push. Slow it up just across the timeline now as we near the 2-minute mark of this third period. 5-point ball game. Senators well within reach here. They have never led, no ties in this one. It's been all Salem as far as the lead's concerned. Off the dribble drive, Parker could not get contact, and a whistle. Ball was blocked, knocked away out of bounds, and it will stay with West Washington. Parker on the near side will inbound, a box set. Nichols pops out. They'll go right back to Parker inside, and this time the hook won't go as he worked against Ramirez, but Parker fighting for his own rebound. Ball spins away and on the floor for a while before Holden's able to collect it back off the offensive board. He'll back down now against Mahurin, give it up to Nichols, and pull it back out as Holden controls. Coming up on a 1.5 to play. Sanford inside, 2 dribbles, turnaround jumper won't go. Howard clears the defensive rebound. Brody Petmeyer now back in transition. We'll have a stoppage of play. And we're going to get Howard on a push from behind, and Mike Brown does not like that out of his sophomore big man. That'll be team foul number 7, but because it's a player control, they're holding up to shoot the bonus down here in front of us, but you don't shoot the bonus on a player control.
It's been stuck at 31-26 for a while.
Well, they're going to say it was away. It wasn't a player control situation. So
He's bringing it up like it's a 1-and-1.
Well, we are in the bonus.
At the line for West Washington, number
Guess it was a foul. Guess it was the foul, common foul.
Common
behind.
foul.
Yeah. Buck 33 to go. 31-26. That'll send Holden to the free throw line. His first attempts of the season. He was a 69.5% free throw shooter from the line last year. Looking to improve that. First one rims in and out, no good. Senators again, 6 of 9 in the first half, but they've struggled a little bit here. Just 2 for 5 as the Lions give it up, and Holden to the other end gets fouled. Now Salem fans grow restless as the Senator fans give a little sarcastic cheer, and Mike Brown starting to pout again to our left.
You got to make free throws.
This will be team foul number 8. And this is going to be number 3 on Brody Petmeyer. And Brown's going to talk to Bob Singles. Give him an earful as Holden goes back to the free throw line, and he's able to connect on that one. So Holden's got 5 now on the night. Brown still chewing on Singles in front of us. 31-27. Holden, second free throw, eyes it, lets it go. That one left short, ball tipped around into the hands of Mahurin. Petmeyer now will bring it across with Mahurin, Suvak, Trell Howard, and Ramirez for the Lions. Nichols, Bousman, Green, Stevens, and Sanford for the boys in blue.
Minute to go. Need to get a stop. One stop here.
Big stop and a basket go a long way heading into what could be a monstrous fourth quarter. Petmeyer kicks it back out to Mahurin again without Hendigas or Mead on the floor. Ramirez, though, tries to step up in their absence with a big 3. He can't get from the corner pocket, and Nichols controls. And Coach Sullivan, I think, is going to try to settle for 1 here as we dip under 40 seconds to play.
We struggled with this last year, if you remember. Trying to hold for 1. Of course, that was a younger team, but the way we're playing tonight, got to be confident.
3-man dribble weave out front, Coach, as they're going to try to burn up this clock. Holden has it now as he works against Petmeyer and Suvak. They'll come out and try to run and jump it now as Holden has it knocked away from behind. They'll give it up to Sanford, who goes in against Howard off the glass for 2. Sanford now has 4 in the ball game, make it 31-29 to the other end. Petmeyer on the back down to Mahurin, out to Ramirez. Stops, tries to pop, gives it off to Mahurin. He goes off the drive, and now we'll have a foul, a whistle on the floor, and this will be on Nichols, and so that'll be his 4th, team foul number 5. Hendigas will check in with 2.9 on the clock. Farmer's going to check in for West Washington. 31.
Twice out of bounds underneath the basket to the left. They've done a little curl back to the right, and it's worked 1 out of 2 times. It worked both times, but 1 scored and 1 they threw it away.
Foul was on the floor, so they'll get it into Howard, and he'll be fouled, perhaps by Stevens, as he was trailing Howard on the little curl move inside. And they get Bob for the personal, so Stevens picks up team foul number 6. That's his first of the night. Trail Howard to the free throw line. 2 for 2 on the night thus far. Big free throws here, and that one long off the back iron. 2-point game, 31-29. Coach Sullivan imploring his guys to block out. 1.6 on the clock. We are headed for a dandy of a fourth quarter, I got a feeling. Second free throw is up and good for Howard. Make it 32-29. Parker Green, 3-quarter court heave off the backboard, and we will roll into the fourth quarter. 32-29. Tighten those seatbelts. This one should be a fun conclusion. 3-point game as we roll into the fourth. You're listening to the Senators take on the Lions here on your home for coverage of the Colts. quarter of play, and as I said, going into the break, I hope you fastened your seatbelts because this one could be a wild, bumpy ride. 3-point game, 32-29, as we begin the final quarter of regulation. Salem leading it by 3. They've never trailed in this one, and we've not had a tie to this juncture. Hindigus into the paint, wild shot, and as he flops to the floor again, he's hit the floor more than the ball at times tonight. As just 11 seconds into the quarter, he will earn a trip to the free throw line. A foul will be called against Harrison Sanford, his second personal of the night, team foul number 7. So both teams in the bonus for this entire quarter of play, or what remains of it, as Hindigus picks up his second free throw of the night, 2 for 2. Again, an 80% shooter last year for the Lions. He's got 15 on the night, give him 16 as the senior knocks them both down and make it 34-29, back to a 5-point ball game.
Have an answer here. You got to come back, answer points with points.
Holden gets in the middle of the press break, finds Jake Strange back into the ball game. Original 5 for West Washington. Green out there with Sanford, Strange, Abels, and Bousman. Half minute gone by. Meade back into the ball game with Hindigus for the Lions. Mahurin joins them with Suvak and Trail Howard. As Howard picks up Jake Strange, ball was knocked away momentarily. Senators will reset underneath their own basket. 7:22 to go, 34-29. Box set again for West Washington. Everything run out of a base formation for them as they'll try to screen. They'll break Green free as he takes a bump from Howard, works against him and got the friendly bounce. As Parker has owned the inbounds plays tonight, coming off of screens and curls and getting into the post. 34-31. Senators still hanging tough. Suvak
somebody
again.
Going to be able to control this senior guard.
He gets into the paint, leaves it off on the dump out to the left baseline as Meade couldn't knock down the 10-foot jumper. Just over a minute gone by in the period. Abel splits 2 guys, gets into the paint. Little floater will not go. Ball ping-pongs around. Abels picks it up and finishes underneath. Caden has his second basket of the night. Just like that, Coach, it's 34-33, and Senator Nation behind us and up in the upper deck has come to life.
Again, it's going to come down to controlling their seniors.
No basket here as Hindigus. Senators look like they went to a little matchup 2-3 there and tried to close off the paint. Foul's going to be on the floor as Parker Green picks up his first of the night. And that'll be team foul number 8. Both teams with 8 personals. As Hindigus goes right back to the free throw line. And we get his first miss of the night at a good time here. So the Senators a chance to tie or take their first lead of the night, trailing at 34-33, facing full court pressure, a little condensed 2-2-1 matchup again. Nice feed underneath as Sanford loses the handle. We had the matchup we wanted, him against Howard, and that was about to be 2 points until he fumbled it away. Senators much better though in this half, Coach. I have just 2 turnovers, 14 now in all in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right play. You just got to be able to complete it.
Underneath. Guys fighting for position. Hindigus says, don't worry about it, guys. I've got it from here as he knocks down a big triple. A little separation, 37-33. As Sanford able to save it in front of Coach Sullivan. Back to Abels, 4-point ball game.
We have, but we may need to take one.
Got 2 fulls and a 30 in our pocket as Holden tries to answer. Couldn't get the 3 to go, but Jake with a big offensive rebound.
Oh, my.
Jake got the offensive rebound on the backside, went back up with it.
Oh,
and he's called for a travel. He thought he got fouled by Howard. And the Senator fans once again disagree, and Hindigus is going to back it out, maybe try to milk some clock. 2.5 gone by here.
Well, you can't do that, Jake.
In the 4th, and Jake comes out. Silly foul out front against Trell Howard. When a guy like Trell Howard's 2 or 3 feet behind the 3-point line, why even come out there? That kid is not going to shoot that shot.
No.
He's not going to shoot it half the time when he catches it in the paint. So why are you guarding him and trying to do that stuff?
And now you're giving him something that he can't do. He's hit 3 out of 4 from the line.
Jake picks up his 4th, team foul number 9. That's a bad sophomore decision. Coach Sullivan will stop him and have a very stern word with him as Howard misses. And Meade able to save it in. Offensive rebound. Suvak, maybe a dagger 3. Can't get it to go. And Abels collects the rebound. So we able to escape again on that trip. And now a charge as Harrison goes flying. into Hindigus as he hits the deck again, and the player control foul will be his third, team foul number 10. That was definitely a player control, so no shots here as Salem's moved into the double bonus. Brody Petmeyer will check in with Gavin Fleming. Suvac and Trell Howard will check out. So a smaller, quicker lineup now for the Lions with 5:16 to go.
A lot of time to go, but if this ends up with a bad outcome for the Senators, you can say we did not play very smart, and we didn't play very...
First half of the fourth
soft
quarter.
in the first half.
First few minutes here of the fourth quarter also a tell of the tape thus far as Stevens comes
out. Oh, that's a hook. That's a hook.
And he calls it. Bob Singlis is going to call it. Mike Brown now livid with his guys, and now he's going to come and chew on Bob Singlis again. Player control against Fleming will be his third personal. And team foul number 9, turnover number 4 of the half. 8 in the game now for the Lions in the turnover department. Under 5 minutes to go in regulation, 37-33. Bobby gets it off the glass, works against Fleming, able to get the basket to go. Bobby now with 5 in the ball game, make it now 37-35. Senators looking for that first tie. And Mike Brown now not liking the fact that Bobby was being physical underneath with Fleming. He cuts off the dribble from Hindigus. They give it out to Petmeyer, who has it blocked by Sanford. 2-on-1 break. Sanford now take the pump fake off the glass for 2. And now we've got ourselves, folks, our first tie of the night at 37 apiece. Hindigus back into the paint. Wild shot off glass goes. So 39-37. Abel's back now to the other end, nearing the halfway point of the quarter on the kick out. Bausman has it against Fleming. We'll give it up now to Bobby in the corner, picked up by Hindigus. Trell Howard will check in at the next dead ball. Holden for 3. That one way off the mark, no good. And Harrison jogging back, gave up the wide open layup to Gavin Fleming. He's now got 6 and make it 41-37. Just like that, Lions back up by 4. 2-2-1 pressure again, and then Fleming with the interception on turnover number 17 of the night for West Washington, but then the Lions turn it back over for their nighttime. Holden leads the break, gets bumped, and Coach Sullivan now get back into the ear of Dick Hammond, and a travel whistled against Parker Green, and Coach Myers had to hold up Coach Sullivan here, as he's going to call a full timeout on the floor with 3:21 to go in this one. I promised a wild, bumpy fourth quarter of play, and that's what we've got. 41-37, Lions lead it by 4. We'll step aside, take a break here from the sponsor, and come back with more right after this.
After a joint surgery, injury, or illness, Meadowview and Salem Crossing are the best choices for helping you recover. Our Moving Forward rehabilitation program offers a full range of therapies. We're here to help you return home safely with the skills you need to live life on your own terms. Meadowview and Salem Crossing, 2 great options for your rehabilitation. To learn more, visit asccare.com or call 888-996-8272.
Senators trail at 41-37, 3:21 to go in this one. Right before the timeout, Parker was whistled for a travel right in front of the Senator bench. Coach Sullivan not happy with that call. There were the fans right behind the bench, and Senators now will have to dig in one more time defensively here and try to keep this lead from ballooning back up to 6 or 7.
Unfortunately, I think he did it. But, I was thinking maybe he wouldn't call it because he missed one earlier.
Suvac, McHuron, Trell Howard, Brody Petmeyer, and Hindigus for the Lions. Stevens, Abels, Green, Sanford, and Bausman for West Washington. Hindigus back into the paint, floater just inside the right elbow will go.
At some point, we got to keep getting in there. We got to body him up or something. I mean, he's killing us, man. That is
9 minutes 23 coming in this quarter of play. Proving to be the difference. And able to take it forward. Get off the to Petmeyer, maybe a dagger. Petmeyer with his first basket up, and I makes it 46 to 37. And a full timeout this time by Mike Brown. His first timeout at the 9 to 2:27 mark.
They become an extension of your family. For more information about MetaView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681. That's 812-883-4681.
.37 Senators have put themselves back into a corner once again. 2:27 to go. Going to have some timely stops here as Hindigus has come to life in this fourth quarter. Again, 9 of his 23 coming in this final frame of regulation. But that 3 right before the timeout by Mike Brown from Brody Petmeyer may prove to be the dagger here. Let's see if the Senators can answer out of the timeout. Little 3-2 or 1-2-2 matchup, and the Senators turn it over as Meade comes up with the steal. 6th turnover of the half, 18th in the game now for West Washington.
That's going to make it tough right there. You can't come out of the timeout, turn the ball over.
Overload isolation, and Hindigus throws up a wild shot. We give up an offensive rebound on the backside, though. Meade with a little flop and a little dramatic effect after the contact. That'll be team foul number 11.
When was it tied? Was it 37-37?
37-37.
So we haven't scored since. It's been a 9-0 run since we tied it.
Meade will try to make it a 10-0 run, and he cannot on the first at least. Foul on Parker Green, his second. Again, team foul number 11. And Meade, this is his first free throw attempt of the night. Second one on the way, and that was good. So, indeed, make it a 10-0 run right now for the Lions.
Much 2 minutes, 2:01 to go. You pretty much have to play perfect basketball now.
And going to have to get some quick offense as well as we dip under 2 minutes to play in this one. 47-37. Little scissors action out top. Stop, pop. Little 18-footer will not go for Harrison Sanford from the right side. And Coach Sullivan not happy with that possession. We'll go to an overload again. 4 guys on one side. Hindigus alone gives it up, though, to Petmeyer. And now he'll try to go one-on-one against Abels, trying to dribble the air out of the ball. Now to Suvac, and now they're going to just a delay. They're pulling guys off of this little 4-man stack on one side. Coach Brown just wanting to get out of town here as Meade takes it to the basket and gets another easy one off the glass. He's got 8 in the ball game, and now make it 49-37. Abels has it right side, little crossover against Hindigus. They go back to Bousman. They'll back it out of there. 1 minute to play, gonna have to get something quick. As Strange goes to Green. Green, 3-ball, can't get it to connect. Howard pulls down the defensive rebound. And now Harrison will give up the foul in front of us on Petmeyer. This will be team foul number 12, so double bonus for the Lions. As Sanford picks up his 4th. And Salem on their way to continuing this little streak against West Washington. Last game they played was in a holiday tourney up here at this very court. It was a 52-27 win for the Lions in the holiday tourney. They swept both meetings last year. Of course, that first one, an ugly buzzsaw for West Washington at home. Petmeyer able to connect on the first, and the second one up and good as well.
So see them again very easy, coming in the holiday tournament, but even just going forward, we got to figure out some. I don't know if it was just the first game, but have to be able to shoot the ball 0 for 8 from 3.
And Parker gets into the paint. It'll be a line
Bad
foul
decisions in the first half.
in the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Foul's going to go on Suback. That'll be his fourth personal, his third. Team foul number 10. Parker Green to the free throw line as some fans start to file out. First one's up and good for Parker. So substitutions here. Fleming will check back in for the Lions. Howard will have a seat. Jake Strange will check out. Bobby Stevens comes back in. 51-38. Again, a great crowd on hand for both clubs here tonight. You could very well see a rematch as these two teams could possibly meet in the championship game of the holiday tourney if all works out.
If you're looking for bright spots, Parker Green's played well. Bobby Stevens has played well and is really his first varsity game. Holden played okay, just didn't shoot very well.
And the Lions now maybe will be content to hold this one as we come up on 20 seconds to play here. 51-39. Senators give a good effort, get that one tie at 37, just could not get over the hump and grab that first lead.
You see it all the time. You fight all game long after a bad start just to tie it. And it's just like, oof.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't have the energy to complete the comeback.
Senators just 10 points in that final quarter of play, and they're going to fall here tonight, the season opener to the Lions. 51-39, but a good effort for the most part. Again, a slow start, and really, for me, the 12 turnovers in the first half, the slow start the first 3 minutes of that fourth quarter when we had a chance, even though we did get it tied once at 37, just not enough as the Lions able to answer in the fourth quarter. A big quarter for Hendigas as well on the way to his big night for Salem. They prevail 51-39 and will serve on their home court. They get the sweep. JV loses tonight as well to Salem. We'll step aside. We'll take a break, hear from a couple of sponsors. We'll come back to begin our Ace Hardware of Salem post-game wrap-up here from the Everett S. Dean Court as West Washington falls to 0-1 on the season with the 51-39 loss. We'll come back with our post-game show right after this word.
For 80 years, Eddie Gilstrap Motors in Salem has made thousands of both car and truck shoppers car and truck buyers. And that commitment to customer sales and service continues to pay off. It's more than low prices and incentives and service after the sale. You've been hearing that for the second year in a row, they've been awarded the 2017 Ford President's Award. I mean, to win something that only 340 Ford dealerships across the country out of over 5,000, well, that's pretty special, wouldn't you say? The President's Award is based upon achieving the highest level of customer sales, service satisfaction, and overall experience. And the credit not only goes to manager Steve Motzinger and his entire staff, but to you, the buying public. If you've already purchased a new or pre-owned Ford, car, truck, or SUV from Eddie Gilstrap